All right, so we got this 2007 Saturn. We're just about to start doing front brakes, rotors, and front stabilizer links. We changed the name of the channel just for personal reasons. Basically, dual overhead cam isn't the only thing I work on. I just bought an LS, actually, an LS truck, a GMC. So I kind of wanted to make it just kind of overall just a garage name, not just dedicate it to one specific like brand kind of thing. Not that that would really matter, but so grandmother gave me the name Bucko when I was younger, so she always used to say, "Hey Bucko, are you coming with me?" So I figured, you know what, Bucko's garage. So that's what's going on today. The prelude for right now is sitting until I get the new clutch and stuff. It still runs and drives, but I just don't want to drive it while it's making noise. So yeah, we're just gonna get started on this. Okay, so I figured this would be a good time to show how to lift the vehicle properly. So where I'm going off of is off the frame there, as you can see. That's just right underneath the vehicle. So that's where I'm gonna lift. And then my jack stand's probably gonna go on right here on that bolt right there. I'll put a jack stand underneath that bolt. Alright, so like I was saying before, the jack stand's underneath the bolt there on the subframe. I always keep my jack underneath and with a little bit of pressure on it. And then I'm gonna go ahead and zip the wheels off here. Okay, so always throw a tire underneath the vehicle. That way if it falls, it doesn't fall on the ground or you. You can always take a screwdriver, put it in here, get the caliper moving back and forth. That's what I did to get this moving here. So then you got, I believe they're 14 millimeters on the back here. On the back of the caliper, you got one here on the bottom, one here on the top. So we're just going to take those off and then remove the caliper. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and remove our 13 mil bolts, or sorry, 14. And we got those out. Sorry for the crappy view. Okay, so your bottom one, your top one there. Not that it matters a lot, but I always just try and pay attention to stuff like that. So, one cool thing that I have is these caliper hooks. You hook them into the caliper and then you hang it off here. That way it's not hanging and wrecking your brake line or wrecking the brake hose, causing any pressure to it. But always remember to take this off though. Don't leave this hanging on there. I've almost done that once or twice, so be aware of that. So what I'll do is I'll take this and then I'll just throw my hook right through here, pull it off, and then just hook it in here. I'd hook it the other way though, so give me a minute. So now I have it hooked in there. Now I can hang the caliper up here. Now it's out of the way. It's not bending the hose really or wrecking it. And then we can go ahead and pull our pads out. Oh yes, these pads have been neglected for a very long time. My grandpa, I think he might have changed the pads once, but there's a rank pulsation when you're braking, and the brake pedal feels really low, and the pads are actually kind of worn unevenly a little bit. That inside, or sorry, the outside pad's good, but this inside pad's pretty, it's got a nice groove going right there. So definitely time to fucking change them. Pardon my language. Let's see. Oh, look at that. Yeah, it's got a good groove in it. Definitely got a good groove in it. And we got this one. This one's fine. This one seems to be okay. So next we're going to take this bracket off here. Okay, now you're going to need to remove the 215 mil bolts from the back for the brake bracket. So we're just going to get in there and remove those. There you go, your brake bracket's off. Take your one bolt. Bolt your bolts out. Take your bracket off. And we'll be cleaning up that bracket. And then this rotor here, there's these little things right here on here. We're going to have to spin these back. Kind of pry these things out like a little bit. Here, let's see here. Focus on it a bit. You pry those things out, get this spinning. Once these start spinning, it'll spin right off like it's threading, counterclockwise. And then you should be able to get the rotor off. You can see it's already got a little bit of a wiggle to it already. So you just gotta get those spinning. Okay, so once you get the wings spread out on here, you'll see they're kind of like little notches. You just take your flathead and you'll be able to basically get them off. You get them facing upwards. I'll show you in a minute. So this thing here, these things get pried down, so you have to pry these up so it'll come off there, and then it just kind of spins off there. Once you take these off, then you'll be able to take your rotor off. It should just come off, and then that's your hub. So basically what I would recommend is taking a wire brush, cleaning up the mounting surface nicely. Same with in here, all in here. I'm going to clean all that, and then we'll put a little bit of anti-seize on here, and then we'll get going with cleaning the rotors and stuff like that, putting the rotors back on. I'm not going to show you that because, I mean, there's tons of videos of me doing brakes showing how to clean the rotors. Just give them a good wipe down with brake clean, and yeah. So I'm going to clean all this off and get it all nice and clean. Okay, so I got these guys on here, these lovely things. You thread it on there, push it on all the way, and then what I was doing was I was just taking a flathead or a punch, and then you basically what you're doing is you're punching in those ridges. Like if it's out, you want to punch it in like right there. So you punch it in till it can't move, either of them. I like to see it better on that side. Right there, there's a little ridge. You gotta pound them down so it holds the rotor. Spray your rotor off with brake clean really good. And then next your bracket. I'd give it a good brush with a brush like that, and then switch your clips out. When you pull your clips out, clean where they mount right here in this area here. Take a wire brush to that. Take a little dab of this stuff here, brake silicone lubricant. Put it on the ridges where you're gonna put your new clips, and then you're also gonna be pulling out your slide pins from my other videos. I don't know if you've watched, but you pull out these slide pins right here, and then what you do is you clean them, and then you lubricate them with this stuff. So I'm gonna do that, and then I'll get back to when I'm done that. Okay, so get your bracket all cleaned up, get your new clips installed, lubricate your slide pins. I use that orange stuff. I'm just gonna show you really quick. That orange stuff is on here. Stuff there. So put a little bit more on her. Don't want to put too much, or else you can have a problem with your pins moving back and forth because it's hydraulics. So pull this out again. I'll just give it another little quick dab before we throw it in. And now our bracket's ready to put on. We'll take our two bracket bolts, put our bracket on. Okay, so now we're going to put our bolts back in. This thing has a lot of torque. Oh, it's not catching the thread. So if that happens, make sure you catch a thread before you start spinning. So the reason that happened is because this thing torqued it too tight. So what we'll do is we'll back it off. Now you'll be able to get your other bolt in. See, because if you would have just kept going, then you'd cross thread. So don't tighten one side all the way up super tight. This fucking thing's just it's rank. It's got a lot of torque. So you could just use your ratchet to tighten it up. I mean, tighten it up part of the way with this thing, just a little bit, and then do the rest with a ratchet is what I would do. Okay, so then we're tightening our ratchet bolts. Tighten quarter turn. Good and tight. Make sure they're all tight. Tight quarter turn. They weren't super tight. Tight quarter turn. Good to go. You got your bracket on. Now we can throw our pads on. And so what I do is I always take a little dab of that orange stuff, put it here, and then I'll show you what else I do too. Alright, so like I said, we just take our dab of grease, set it inside, drop it down, line it up, and push it in. Should be effortlessly, you shouldn't have to like hammer these in. And then so the other one, the pad came out like this. So this little indicator, you're just gonna have to take that off and put that on the next pad. And then so I just took the indicator off the other pad, put it on there. That's gonna be your brake pad indicator. There's a little thing where you can put it there. So I'll put the other pad in the back, same thing. Okay, so once you have your new brake pads in and everything can move nicely, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a wire brush and we're just gonna clean up all in here with a wire brush, get all that crap off there. Brake clean this. It's a good idea to have a tray underneath, and then we'll have to press this piston in. Once we get this all cleaned up, press the piston in, then all we have to do is put the caliper back on and 2 bolts, and then torque your wheels to, I believe it's 100 foot-pounds or 80 foot-pounds on this thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this wire brush right here, and I'm just gonna clean the inside, all this crap out, brake clean inside here, and then I'll show you how to push this piston back in. Once you're done brake cleaning, push the piston back in, and then I'll show you what to do from there. Okay, so after taking my wire brush, clean all that crap off, spraying it with brake clean, now we're going to press this in. Okay, so to press the caliper back in, you're going to take a brake pad, put it on the piston, and then you're going to take your brake tool, line it up like that, and then you're going to twist this brake tool in until it stops. Watch this set up. Just like that. Okay, so like I was saying before, press it until it stops, twist that out, and then you're ready to put your caliper back on. So another trick, what I usually do, you don't put a bunch, take a little bit of this stuff, put it where it's going to make contact with your pads. So right there it's going to make contact, right there it's going to make contact, and then always put a little bit on your piston. There's nothing wrong with having a little bit. And as well, you can always take a nice little, here, let's move this in a minute. You can always take a nice little dab of grease as well. Not grease, sorry, brake lubricant. And put it on the back pad. Right here. Okay, so on the back of the pad right there, in the middle, you can put a nice dab of grease. Nice little circle of grease with the caliper. That's good enough. Okay, so then now you'll be able to take your caliper off and put it on and put your 2 bolts in. Make sure you take this hook off first. Don't take it off here first, take it off here first. And that way you won't forget it. Alright, so then to finish up, we're just going to take our 14 mil and tighten up the caliper. Usually I just go tight quarter turn. I don't want to go too tight because these can snap off. So this is the other one I'm doing. Sorry the zoom's all close. I didn't mean to do that. I'm getting a GoPro. I can't do this phone holding anymore. So that's definitely something that's going to get done here right away. I apologize for the crappy quality. It will get better. I just hope at least you're learning while watching my channel. That's my goal, is to at least teach someone how to do their own brakes. Okay, so once you tight quarter turn, your caliper is going to move until you press your brakes, so don't be scared of that. And then, so now I got to get the stabilizer link, and I don't know if this one, no, so I'm going to choose, I'm just going to try and take my impact, and hopefully it zips off. Sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you don't. So we'll see what happens. Alright, so then to finish up, we're just going to take our 14 mil and tighten up the caliper. Usually I just go tight quarter turn. I don't want to go too tight because these can snap off. So this is the other one I'm doing. Sorry the zoom's all close. I didn't mean to do that. I'm getting a GoPro. I can't do this falling holding anymore. So that's definitely something that's going to get done here right away. I apologize for the crappy quality. It will get better. I just hope at least they're learning while watching my channel. That's my goal, is to at least teach someone how to do their own brakes. Alright, so once you tight quarter turn, your caliper is going to move until you press your brakes, so don't be scared of that. And then, so now I got to get the stabilizer link, and I don't know if this one, no, so I'm going to choose, I'm just going to try and take my impact and hopefully it zips off. Sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you don't. So we'll see what happens.